morning, everybody. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Matt Ford. I'm Pastor Rob's son. You're supposed to start these things with a joke, but I am not a comedian. If comedy was a spiritual gift, I did not get that gift at all. So I'm just going to dive right into it this morning. I'm up here to share with you today what I'm doing for work currently. I've had the blessing of being hired at the Keystone Mission down in Scranton. And we are a nonprofit organization that specializes in helping the homeless population of Scranton and Wilkes-Barre. So it's a great mission. Our mission is to be a catalyst to the community and to provide help and to provide hope to the homeless, hurting, and hungry population of Northeast Pennsylvania. So I'm only going to take about 10 minutes of your time, and we're going to go over what homelessness is, what the Keystone Mission is doing to kind of help homelessness and help minister to the people that are hurting in our community, and then how you can partner alongside of us to aid us in our ministry together. So, firstly, what is homelessness? This is a very obvious question. I'm sure most of you are like, well, yeah, duh. Homelessness is not having a house to live in, right? It's very, very simple. But unfortunately, the issue is not that simple. It's very complex. It goes much deeper, and it's a much deeper issue. So to illustrate this, I'm going to have everybody go ahead and close your eyes. Keep your eyes closed and imagine yourself in a situation. Some of us have been in situations like this. Maybe you're about to get evicted, or maybe you can't make your mortgage payment. Maybe something as simple as your car broke down and you don't have AAA. I've been there before. And just imagine you have to call somebody for help. So in the next 5 seconds, with your eyes closed, imagine yourself in that pretty dire situation. Think of as many names as you can think of people that you would call to help you out. All right, it's been about 5 seconds. Go ahead and open your eyes. How many of you thought of at least 3 names? Raise your hands, please. All right, cool. Yeah, so I did as well, obviously. I have my parents. My parents are great. I could call my brothers. They'd be there for me in any kind of situation. My in-laws would be there for me. At least a dozen people from college would bring me into their home. They would take care of me, no questions asked. And as weird as it seems, we take that for granted. We go through things like that in life, and we're just like, oh yeah, I've got people that have my back, and that's a great thing to have. Even all the people in this room, if you look to the left, to your right, most of these people would be here for you in a situation like that. And unfortunately, the people that I minister to on a daily basis don't have that. That's the deeper issue of homelessness. They don't have people that love them. Most of the time, they're in the situation because they had people that they thought they could call, and those people weren't there for whatever reason. And that's the biggest issue. And it's traumatic, and it's emotional, and it goes deeper. You start to lose trust in humanity. You start to lose hope. You start to spiral. You start to slip. You don't have a church body to rely on. All your friends are also probably in a similar situation. They're in survival mode. They're trying to take care of themselves. They're trying to find a place to sleep or a place to eat. Suddenly, you can't trust anybody. So this is the issue we're dealing with. It's not just the physical, even though the physical is the first thing that we see, and it's the first issue that we try to help. It goes much deeper than that, and it's a much longer fix, and it requires a much longer fix to the problem. So with that in mind, the Keystone Mission has a bunch of different programs that we do to help this situation, but we're focused on long-term life transformation. We're trying not to just provide food, even though food is a great thing. That's the first thing that we provide in all of our programs. I'm sure most of you have been hangry before, if you've heard that term. I've been there before. I'll come home from a long day of work, and I'm like so hungry I just can't even talk to my wife. I'm like, we need to eat. Like, we need to eat right now. We're not going to talk about the day. Like, I'm going to get fed, I'm going to get some sleep, and then we're going to be okay. And I think Jesus even recognized that. When he feeds the 5,000 in the Bible, he feeds them first. And the disciples are like, send them out, get them food. He's like, no, we're going to take care of their physical needs. We're going to give them some food. Then we're going to get into the Word. Then we're going to feed their spirit. We're going to feed their soul. So we do provide for the physical need. But as I mentioned, it goes much deeper than that. So after they eat breakfast in most of our facilities, we have Bible study. And that's a great time. That's completely run by volunteers, people like you from congregations that want to come in and love these people. And they do Bible studies, and then after Bible study, we do everything from art therapy to music therapy to vaccine clinics to sometimes haircuts, everything in between, AA meetings. But our goal is to have an actual program, someplace that they come in every single day, and they're able to be loved and they're able to be taken care of. So that's our goal. And our goal is life transformation, not just, okay, you're fed, we'll see you later, you're good to go, we'll see you tomorrow. We've seen people come in, and after a couple months, they're actually able to be rehabilitated back into homes, back into jobs, But again, it's not just about the home or the job. They're able to actually know what it's like to be loved by people like us. And they're able to actually receive the hope that's only provided by the gospel of Jesus Christ. So I'm thankful for the place that I work because it's founded on that. It's founded on Jesus. It's founded on that hope. We know that we can't fix the problem by ourselves. You can feed people all you want. You can even provide them with houses all you want. But without Jesus, we're all lost. We're all done. Whether you live in a mansion or whether you live on the streets. So, before I go into how you guys can help, I'd like to tell a story. I was in Utah, I think it was, for an internship, and I was driving down the road. Stopped at a McDonald's, and there was a homeless guy there with a sign. I forget what the sign said, but we've all seen the sign, right? I'm hungry. I need a place to stay. I'll work for food, whatever the case may be. And I stopped, and I was going to stop for myself anyway, so I bought him some food. And I handed him some food. I felt great about myself, right? We all have been there. And he smiled. He got some food. I smiled. I felt great. It was a great situation. I'm not going to knock that. Random acts of kindness can really inspire people to go help other people. So this story is not to kind of knock random acts of kindness, but after about 10 seconds of driving away, I just got this pit in my stomach, like that I could not shake. And I realized I didn't know his name. I didn't know why he was homeless. I didn't know why he was hungry. I didn't know who was going to give him food tomorrow. I didn't know where he was going to sleep. All these questions just rushed into my mind. And I realized I had just handed him a 10-second fix to a lifelong problem of pain and suffering and trauma and whatever he had gone through. It looked like he might have been in the military. I don't know what the issue was there, but I never saw that guy again. And I still think about that to this day. I've been in that situation multiple times before. Most of us have, if you're driving down the streets. So, thankfully, the Keystone Mission where I work provides a catalyst for people like myself in that situation to go and actually help daily. We recognize that our mission is only put forth by people like you. Volunteers are our backbone. So I come in and I see our staff members. Our staff members are great. They help with our programs. They help with things like scheduling doctor's appointments and trying to get IDs. Because in the state of Pennsylvania, sometimes you can't even go into a homeless shelter without an ID. And then they can't receive help, let alone apply for a job or apply for housing or whatever the case may be. But volunteers are our backbone. Like I mentioned, they do our Bible studies. They serve breakfast. They sort our donations with all of our clothing. Everything is done by volunteers. And I love it because you see the same people every day, and you get to love on them every single day. And you get to know their name, and you get to know why they're there. No matter what you're doing, we have a ton of opportunities. So whatever your talent is, if you want to volunteer, you can come and talk to me after the service, and I'd love to go through that with you. But what I try to encourage people to do is just love the people in whatever you're doing. If you're sweeping the floor, you could be sweeping the floor next to another volunteer or next to another homeless person. Smile, talk to them, give them the gospel. I try to encourage everybody that serves breakfast, because the food is really great, grab a plate, go sit down and have a meal with the people that are hurting. They need to be heard. They're suffering. We're all suffering. But thankfully we have Jesus. Amen. So you can sit there and you can talk and you can get to know him. And this is how lives are transformed. Not by money, unfortunately, not by food, not even by programming, just by listening, just by talking, just by pointing them to the gospel. And that's how we get through it. Sometimes it's hard to love people. Sometimes it's hard to love ourselves. But like I said, the foundation of our entire ministry is Jesus, and Jesus flowing through volunteers that have hearts like yourselves. So that's pretty much all I have. That's what we're doing. There's a lot going on. If you want to talk to me about the various opportunities of volunteering, feel free to come up to me after the service. We'd love to even just receive your prayer. So if you'd like to come talk to me about how we could use your prayer, a lot of stuff is happening. We're in 2 different cities. We're trying to get a lot of programs built. We actually have a building being built for another program that we're opening. So we could really use your prayer, and we could really use your support. So that's all I have. Thank you for listening.